Welcome. So you're interested in the Portugal Golden Visa, and you want to know really what it takes to get it right.
Mhm.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into some tips for a successful application. Our mission, to pull out the absolute key advice for you.
Exactly. We've looked at this resource, Tips for a Successful Portugal Golden Visa Application, and we're boiling it down to what truly matters for a smooth process.
Okay, great. So diving in, one of the first things that jumps out is just how important understanding the different ways in is, the eligibility routes.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing at all.
Yeah.
The source is really clear.
Yeah.
You have to figure out which investment option actually fits, your finances and what you want long-term.
So like capital transfer or maybe starting a business with job creation?
Yeah, exactly. And each one has its own specific rules, its own paperwork.
Yeah.
Picking the wrong category right at the start, that can definitely cause problems down the line.
So it's less about just grabbing the easiest looking one and more about maybe some real self-assessment first, seeing where you fit.
Precisely. The advice really points towards thinking hard about your investment goals, your risk tolerance, even how long you plan to be in Portugal
Okay.
before you kick off the formal stuff. That thinking helps steer you to the right route.
Right, that makes sense. Now here's something else the tips really hammer home. The documentation. Meticulous seems to be the key word.
Oh, absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Yeah. The source probably flags incomplete or, inaccurate paperwork as a major reason for delays.
Little things maybe, like passport expiry dates or addresses not matching up.
Exactly, those kinds of things. Things you might overlook. Paying super close attention to those details right from the beginning is, well, essential.
It sounds like you need to double check everything. And if
Yeah.
you need translations, make absolutely sure they're properly certified, no assumptions.
You got it. The advice likely stresses keeping everything organized, clear records. Even tiny inconsistencies can raise flags and slow the whole thing down.
Okay, so that's eligibility and documents. What about getting help? The tips seem to lean towards professional guidance.
Yeah, they strongly suggest it, even if it's not strictly mandatory. Navigating Portuguese law and all the admin, it can get complex, fast.
Especially if you're not familiar with the system.
Right. So experienced immigration lawyers or consultants, they can be a huge help, not just picking the investment, but making sure the paperwork's right, guiding you through each stage.
So potentially spending a bit there saves a lot of headaches, time, maybe even prevents fatal errors in the application.
That's definitely the vibe from these tips. Their know-how can help you sidestep pitfalls and just ensure you're ticking all the necessary boxes.
Okay, so let's try and boil this down for you, the listener. Based on these tips, what are the absolute must-dos?
Fundamentally, it's about prep. Deep preparation. Really get the eligibility criteria. Understand the nuances.
Make sure your chosen investment actually meets those criteria.
Yes, and then be incredibly thorough, meticulous with collecting all that required documentation.
And it seems like getting that expert advice isn't just a luxury. It could be a real game changer for navigating it all.
That's it. Setting yourself up correctly right from the very beginning. That seems to be the most crucial piece of advice here.
So if the Portugal Golden Visa is something you're seriously looking at, the big takeaway from our deep dive today is prepare. 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 Understand the pathways inside out.
Which leads to a really important question for you to think about now. Looking at those different investment options, which one genuinely clicks with your situation, your long-term plans?
And following on from that.
Have you started digging into the specific documents you'll need for that particular route? That's your essential next step, focusing that exploration.